Hi and welcome back. So I've been going in with the sprue goo and my wood sandpaper. It's not a bad job. With decent sandpaper and decent putty I could have done a much better job, but for what I've got, it's not doing bad. So I've done that gap on the bottom, did a touch up around there, touched up around there was a gap. So I'm going to get this top sorted out. And once all the seams are done, we'll have a look and I'll before I start putting some paint down. Right, so I've got my sprue goo sanded down now. It's filled in that gap, filled in there. It's leaving marks because I'm using bloody rubbish sandpaper. That's the nature of the challenge. That's about as good as I'm going to get it, otherwise I'm off to start damaging sort of like the rest of the plastic, which I don't want if I put any more on. Bottom I'm happy enough with. So next, what I'm going to do, from what I learned of doing the green on the inside of the cockpit, I'm going to give it a coat all over with my light grey that I've got and try use it almost like a primer. So that's the next stage, and then I've got a few little bits and pieces to stick on the bottom first. I'll get them stuck on before I prime it. But that's the next stage. So when it's primed, we'll see how it's looking, and then I'll be tackling doing the camouflage pattern. Okay, so I've got my light grey over, which it's just a thin coat, and I've only used it as a primer. But like seam line's almost vanished, seam line's pretty much vanished. I know it looks a bit rough, but that's literally, we saw what it was like when I did the green on the inside, and it's done exactly the same. But I just think it'll give me enough for the other paints to bite when I start doing this camouflage pattern, etc. Which I want to talk about, because I think these instructions are wrong. Because if we look at the box art, we can see the green, the dark grey, and underneath we can see the light grey. But the instructions tell us that we have the light grey and dark grey on top, and it's the green underneath. So I'm going to swap them round. So we're going to have green and dark grey on top, light grey underneath. And I think once I've got that painted on nicely, it'll be a good point for us to have a look again. Well, it's going to need 2 coats, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing. Because I can't mask it at all. I've just slightly gone over with a pencil to roughly where I want the green to be. So it's not going to be great when it's finished with these bloody awful brushes, but I don't think it'll be too bad once I get a second coat over. So I'm going to continue, and once I've got it double coated, we'll have a look at things. Right, so I'm pretty much done with painting. It's not brilliant. These cheap kids brushes, it's just no, you can't control them very well. Let's just leave it at that. They haven't got a lot to them. Need to do some touching up in places. Not easy doing lines without masking tape. But it's all painted now. All the little bits are painted as well. So, right. Yeah, it'd stand up if you're looking at it from a metre away. To get up close, it's not brilliant. But I knew it was a challenge, and it's It has been hard using these tools, but it's been fun as well, so I do recommend you try it. But I think this is a good place to wrap this episode up. Next episode we'll get all the little bits on. Wheels, the exhaust, etc. Get the canopy in place. I've decided I'm just leaving the canopy plain. I'm not even going to attempt to put any paint on it. And we'll get the decals down. But yeah, for now, thank you for watching. Keep trekking and keep modelling. Thank you. Goodbye.